think if you go down a little bit, you'll see them by school.
All right, do y'all have any questions for district operations? Okay, we will receive that report for information purposes only, no actions taken. Federal programs, Mr. Tower?
Just finishing up this week, I'm finishing up revisions for FY 24 and 25. I submitted them both, but I had to do some minor edits on them, so they should be sent back to them tomorrow morning at the latest. But we did receive notification from MDE that we will be going through ESSA 2 monitoring. So we uploaded some documents last week. They're going to have it where you upload the document in phases. So we uploaded phase 1 with all the general ledger reports, and we're just waiting on them to tell us what's next and what they find in the general ledger reports. And this will be another on-site monitoring. They had like a medium low, medium high, and then they sent us the rubric on how they scored it. And so we were medium, had just barely crossed the high threshold. So they coming to, they have not told us exactly when, but we are anticipating probably in the spring sometime that they're gonna come because
Is this a continuation from what you reported last month?
No ma'am, no ma'am. That was ESSA 1. This is the ESSA 2, this is the $5 million. Where we
How much can we account for?
it's all in Marathon. It's all in Marathon. So some of the issues that we ran into with ESSA 1 were we were changing counting systems from Innovac to Marathon. And so that pretty much, that was some of the issues, and then they could not read the GA reports that we were sending them. That was saying they couldn't find what we say, like it's right there on the GA reports, and she kept saying, well, I don't see it, I don't see it, and Ms. Pulley, we get on there, talk with her back and forth, and like, it's right here. Yeah.
We couldn't agree on numbers.
Yeah.
The transfer from Innovac to Marathon. And so her reconciliation was different from mine. And she said what I prepared as a response wasn't sufficient enough. You know, me, Michelle, Nathan, all of us got together, saw the numbers, put it there, and they just didn't agree with us.
Yeah.
So now then, when they come, it'll be all in the format.
It's all
that they
Marathon
understand.
this time.
Right. And with all the documentation is uploaded in there, so if they want to pull a purchase order, we go to their purchase order, we pull all the documentation else, and then you still have a trail of who all approved it. So they can't say, well, I don't see the approval process, because that's part of it they want to see. They want to see the timestamps and who clicked off on, who signed off on it. So all this in Marathon for them to see.
We should be in a better position to answer.
Okay, that's good news.
And the last thing is, with the homeless, had to make some changes on our 25 application due to the number of students we had deemed homeless. So I'm gonna meet with the state people to try to put some other things in place as far as being able to streamline that, because I think the number's a little high. When I looked at the numbers across the state, we were like in the top 5, and we're not a real,
Homeless
urban
community.
city.
What determines if a child is homeless?
A lot of different factors, and I can tell you that they have grown, they've gotten pretty good at skirting the guidelines and the requirements.
How are they identified as homeless?
I have a checklist, and like I say, if I move to Cleveland and I stay with a relative I'm homeless. It's a checklist, like I'm doubled up, I'm temporarily staying with them. And so we have to enroll that child in school. So I mean, there's some other things. I'm talking with some other federal program directors and some people across the state, some things that they put in place because everybody's not being honest.
In other words, the homeless number went up.
Has
It
increased.
is inflated, in my opinion.
Homeless is not necessarily homeless.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
That's what that
They not in the
Homeless
house
is
with mom
homeless.
and daddy.
They don't have a fixed
Yeah.
time. They don't,
Homeless
quote,
is
unquote,
not
don't have a
necessarily
permanent
homeless.
fixed
Right.
time residence.
Right. And so that's something we're gonna look at because numbers are kind of high. So, but other than that, that's all my updates, but that'll be for next year.
So homeless, what is that, what is, they get extra services for that child?
Basically, what I had to do for this last application was, the state has a requirement that you at least set aside from all our federal money off the top $25 per kid. And so I had to write a justification. I just sent it to them today, actually. Sent the justification to them, telling them that I requested less than the $25 because we had just closed out ESSA 2 homeless, and we have on-hand hygiene supplies, coats, uniforms, backpacks, school supplies. Most of the stuff they requiring us to buy with the set aside with $25, it's right there, some in the back, and some of it already at the schools. So I requested less because we already have a surplus of it, because we had to spend, the homeless grant was like $90-some thousand, and we spent like $30,000 or $40,000 buying uniforms, coats, backpack supplies, hygiene supplies, and things of that nature, and disinfectant supplies too. So that's all I have.
All right, are there any other questions for federal program? Can I get a motion to approve the federal programs report to include the CSI reports?
I make that motion.
Second.
It has been moved by Lucia Holmes, seconded by George Evans to approve the federal program updates and CSI reports. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Curriculum, Ms. Towers.
Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I just have a few updates. We just hosted our third district-wide PLCs on yesterday. And we're receiving very positive feedback. On November the 13th, I met with our PLC facilitators. Some of the goals that they identified was that there has been a significant increase in engagement and participation amongst group members. Even Coach Acock was pleased with the amount of participation even from our physical education department. The teachers are more eager to share and contribute because they have somebody, most people have somebody in-house that's facilitating those sessions. And our secondary science curriculum team has pretty much created an in-house mentorship program. So we're getting positive feedback on that. Next, last year we talked about one of our areas of deficit is our K-3 foundational skills. So we have hosted our Ames Pathway session. Our first one took place at Delta State. We had a total of 40 participants across the Mississippi Delta, and we currently have 14 of our district teachers that participate in this session, ranging from kindergarten teachers all the way to some of our secondary ELA teachers, as well as our inclusion, our special education teachers, to make sure that we're closing those gaps. Also, we have 5 of our administrators participating in the Literacy Leadership Program. That's myself, Mrs. Haynes, Ms. Barksdale, Dr. Hattie, and Mrs. Smith. And we're currently working on action plans to make sure that we're able to support the teachers. I concluded all of our MDE literacy learning walks and math learning walks. Received a lot of positive feedback from most of those. And we're currently working on some literacy action plans there as well. Just for FYI purposes, I included the monthly IRE usage report because that's one of our tools that we use to make sure that we are targeting our students. And we do have some upcoming assessments. Our benchmark assessments will begin shortly after we return from Thanksgiving break. And then we have our already middle of the year screening, so we should be able to share some data with you all so that you're informed about the progress that we're making. And
All right, any questions for curriculum? If not, we will receive her report for informational purposes only. Approval of consent agenda, are there any items that need to be pulled to be voted on separate?
Make the motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It has been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by Lucia Holmes to approve consent agenda. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Set the date and time for the next meeting, December the 16th at 5 p.m. Are you all available for that date? Can I get a
What
mo-
about you on?
That's your party day, y'all tell me.
You tell us when we
Can you find
party.
somebody?
We gonna get it, we gonna get it. We gonna get it when y'all tell us
It's a Monday now.
and make it done.
Okay, there's no restaurants up on Monday.
We'll get it done.
Make it do what it do.
Make it do what it do.
Make it do what it do.
All right,
All right.
I make the motion to approve.
Jessica, you good with that date? I saw your eyes get big.
That's a
That's
Monday.
a Monday. Yes.
Blue Monday.
Yes, I was thinking about my audit dates.
All right. Can I get a motion to
I
approve?
make the motion.
I second it.
It has been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by Lucia Holmes. Next board meeting, December 16th, 5 p.m. All in favor?
Aye.
Excuse me, ayes have it, motion carried.
Claim docket.
Claims docket. Are there any questions?
I got a bunch of them. Jessica just not getting back to work. She said she didn't bring her big box with me, so I'm good.
All right, good deal.
Joe,
Y'all have anything? Can I get a,
make the motion, Joe, hurry up for me, change my mind.
I thought you did.
I make the motion to accept the claims
it
docket.
has been moved by Lucia Holmes, seconded by George Evans to approve the claims docket. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Naylor PTA deposit discrepancy.
No, no. Not again.
I'll first give an overview of what we're
Okay.
Naylor, member of Naylor's PTA deposited their funds mistakenly into our bank account using our deposit slip.
Thank you.
And they are requesting
Money back.
funds to be reimbursed back to them.
How did they get access to our deposit slip?
The school personnel gave it to them, and the person who deposited money was also a teacher at Naylor Elementary.
Okay.
Our policy says,
Violation of policy, that's what that is.
Can you repeat what said policy states?
All booster clubs and PTO groups shall provide the following items to the principal. A list of club officers. I'm not gonna read all those. I'm just gonna go down to the one regarding employees of CSD are prohibited from holding the office of treasurer or having signing privileges on the bank account for any CSD, PTO, or booster club. That is policy JHA, booster clubs.
Upon this, I'm sorry, my name is Tyrus Dorsey. I am HM Naylor's PTA Vice President. I am also one of the signees on the account. On the day that the money was deposited, I was having a back procedure done. And this money was from a candy fundraiser that we had did to purchase Christmas toy things for the children at school. So in my absence, Ms. Jones, who is a employee, went to deposit the money. And I'm going to want to deposit the newly secretary of the school, handed her a deposit slip. Ms. Jones, being new to the school district, didn't know which was which, so she took it to the bank, and even as she gave it to the teller indicated that the slip was not the correct slip. The teller cut out the account number, supposedly wrote in the PTA account number, but still deposited money into the student activity account. Upon finding out what was did, I think they contacted you, Ms. Fleet, about it, to see what was what, and how we could try to reverse this. Understanding that it was a mistake, however, bringing to the board that these employees were not trained. They're new, they don't really know the procedures or anything of that nature. Like I said, most of the staff at Naylor is practically new. Our whole PTA is new. I can tell you, everybody that's on the PTA, from the president down to the secretary and treasurer, are new. You know, so this was like our
How much money we talking?
fundraiser, first fundraiser that we had.
How much?
So nobody really knew protocol, what to do, or even the right deposit slips, because the secretary last year is not at Naylor anymore.
Right, so Dr. Bermucci, did you all not have a training with principals at the beginning of the year? I remember us having a conversation when this policy was written. Did you all have that fiscal conversation with principals?
Yes.
This year? This school year? Okay. So based on what Mr. Dorsey is requesting, is it,
It sounds like just a mistake to me. And if you know it's their money and they put it in our account, give it back to them.
And we know it's there.
Can you give us a day or two to get with staff,
yeah,
and let's figure a solution out?
Okay.
that's what I was gonna ask, could they not,
You got a paper trail there, what
right?
happened?
But give us a day or two, and superintendent get back in touch with you.
Okay,
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Transfer your funds
And
outside.
for me, like I say, it wasn't a big issue.
You have to have what, Mr. Pudding?
when it first happened, but I understand the student activity account, and I know the purpose of that. And being part of the PTA, we do a lot, not only for the students, but we do it for the staff.
Right.
And being in the student activity account, we won't be able to do anything for the staff, like Teacher Appreciation Week, we do a lot, and if that money is there, we can't do anything to show our appreciation.
Give us a little while, superintendent get back with you. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you all for your time.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I get a motion
Should take no
to,
action.
table.
right, that's what I was gonna say, can I get a motion to allow the superintendent to, provide us an update on how that situation is handled?
Well, we
Justin,
talk about
what does
it.
the motion need to be on that?
Only thing about that is if we vote to give it to them, it'll have to be in the minutes.
That's right.
That
So in
way
order for
we
me
would
to
have it
transfer
back.
funds outside of district bank account, the bank is willing to
We
correct the
can
error,
go
but I
with-
need the board approval.
Let's do
because I
this.
don't have the authority to transfer
Let's take this in executive session,
Okay.
then come back out, and then we can vote, and it'll be in the minutes and everything else. Is that
Okay,
okay?
so let's make a motion to move
Move to executive session.
item number 7 to executive session.
I make the motion.
Second. Go ahead.
It has been moved by Lucille Holmes, seconded by George Evans to move item 7 to executive session. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval to amend open,
Can we get your number?
Yes.
approval to amend
It's on-
open
on the
POs.
TV, but I won't eat.
Oh, no,
You write it down.
Okay.
What's your number, Richard?
Do I have any questions regarding those open POs
No.
amendment requests? You have any questions?
You know, I don't like open PO,
I
but
know.
no.
That's all food service items, I think.
Move approved.
Maintenance and transportation.
Maintenance,
Maintenance, Robinson Electric.
Mm-hmm, and transportation.
food services.
Move approved.
Second.
You good, Lucy?
Yeah.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Richard Boggs to approve the to amend open POs. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of fixed asset disposal list. Do you all have any questions?
Let's get that piano up here.
Let's say when we dispose, what are we doing with this stuff? Destroying it?
We have a company come and pick up the disposed items for free and dispose of them for us.
Coffee pot on there, George, softball bats.
Just for y'all coffee.
That one quit.
Yeah, that one just gone.
What about the piano, is it tuned?
No.
Young man.
It's still, it's at the high school.
It says obsolete.
Hmm.
It is, that's what
I
it
make
is.
a motion to get rid of all that.
Okay, can I get a second?
I'll second it.
It has been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by Lucille Holmes to approve the fixed asset disposal. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of change order request for CCHS for additional camera installations.
Skip 10.
That's what we just do. We skipping 10?
That's 10
That's what
on
you
mine.
do.
See, my 10 don't come up.
My 10 won't come up
Me
here.
either.
I'm looking at the hard drive.
So what is it?
Mr. Johnson?
It's $1,500 to install a extra camera at the high school where they had a blind spot.
For Snyder Electric.
The famous blind spot, huh?
I defer to Officer Wisdom on that one.
Yeah, let me, I guess my problem is, it look like every board meeting, we have something, a change with Snyder. And I'm just wondering, when we went, we didn't think of the blind spot when we contracted with them?
What they only installed where we currently had cameras. They
And we
have
didn't-
place. And now, Ms. May can answer if that blind spot always was there now.
No, there was not a camera. You're talking about the one by the gym at the corner? There was a spot where on the west side of the gym, there's a corner there, and both cameras that we had in that area, you could, because of the way that the cameras are, there was a fight, and it was behind this post, and you couldn't see who it was. So if we put another camera in another area, we've got that whole part covered. And I believe that should take care of all of the blind spots.
All right?
All right.
All
They
right.
don't know it's a blind spot until they fight in that area. I mean, and
I'm good with it.
Whole camera.
Can I get a motion to approve?
Make the motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by George Evans to approve the change order request for additional cameras. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of JBHM change order number 2.
Don't come up, what is that?
Now, this one is a good change order. This contingency funds that we never use, they're reducing that amount from the overall total of the cost. So it's a decrease.
So how much did we have in contingency fund to give with 25,000?
I want to say it was 35, I don't know why it's not too much.
35,000.
And so they're requesting to go down to 20, let's say?
Or $2.
No, they're reducing the.
They're giving us 35
Right.
back.
Oh, they give us the full 30?
It's spread on the whole project.
Right,
Oh,
right.
We like that change.
I make that
order.
motion. I heard her make that motion.
Can I get a second?
I second.
It has been moved by Lucille Holmes, seconded by Richard Boggs to approve change order number 2. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. approval of agreement with Constangy Brooksmith and Profit LLP. Do y'all have any questions regarding that agreement?
I move we approve.
Can I get a second?
I second it.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Lucia Holmes to approve the agreement with CBSP LLP. All in favor?
Completed.
Ayes have it, motion carried.
I love you, girl.
We're gonna look at number 13 and 14 together. Both of those are MOUs. One with Department of Health, the other is with American Institutes of Research.
Has the lawyer looked at them?
I have,
You good with them?
good with them.
All right.
Motion to approve 13 and 14.
I second.
It's been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by Lucia Holmes to approve items 13 and 14. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval to move the playground equipment from Hayes Cooper to the SU site.
Golly.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Beverly Janish to approve the moving of the equipment.
How much
All in
it costs to
favor?
get some new equipment?
And that came out of,
That's going, hold on. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Now, ask your question.
How much does it cost to get new equipment?
That playground equipment's
Lots of
high.
Yeah, about $90,000.
Golly, man.
but that, they like anchored it, put concrete, I mean, it's
You get the concrete.
new.
Man, everything, how much you pay, ain't it?
You're right.
Anything to do with school is twice as high.
They be ripping us off.
All right, number 16, approval to accept the Excel by 5 grant. Can I get a motion to approve?
I approve that.
I approve.
It's motion made by Lucia Holmes, seconded by George Evans to approve Excel by 5 grant. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of CSD library policies and procedures for the library media service. Y'all have any questions? Can I get a motion to approve?
I make the motion to approve it.
Can I get a second?
Second.
It has been moved by Lucia Holmes, seconded by Beverly Janish to approve the library policies and procedures manual. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval for food services to apply for school lunch equipment assistance grant.
It's for Parks and Cleveland Central High.
Can I get a second?
I second it.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Lucia Holmes to approve them to apply for the grant. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval to reverse auction exemption of E-rate for 2025-26.
Yes, that's so when we do our bids for next year's E-rate, which is we're doing on Wi-Fi for the high school. We don't have to do, with your approval, we will not have to do, I can put in request to not have to do a reverse auction. We can just do the bids like we normally do in RFP, and we'll have more control over the specifics of what the bids that we get. And we did it last year as well with the E-rate project we had.
Jessica, you good with it? Worked out good?
It's just the same process we followed in the past
Normally,
years,
yeah.
and it seems to be working for us.
All right, make the motion to approve.
I second.
It has been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by Lucia Holmes to approve the reverse auction exemption for E-rate. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Remove from table and approve items number 20 and 21. That's the board policies review for October, and MSBA policies update. Can I get a motion?
I make the motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
I second.
It's been moved by Lucia Holmes, seconded by Beverly Janish to approve items 20 and 21. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. Can I get a motion to table policy review for November? Is there any discussion?
Who will table?
Can I get a second? It's been moved by George Evans, seconded by Richard Boggs to table policy review for November. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Approval of personnel agenda. Are there any questions regarding personnel? Can I get a motion to approve?
I make the motion to approve personnel.
I second.
It has been moved by Richard Boggs, seconded by Lucia Holmes to approve personnel agenda. All in favor? Ayes have it, motion carried. That includes the coaching also.
Okay.
Can I get a motion to consider executive session? We will be considering executive session for student misconduct, employee grievance for MW, legal matters, and Naylor PTA deposit discrepancy.
Move we approve,
Move to consider.
consider.
It's been moved by George Evans and seconded by Richard Boggs to consider executive session for those items that were just listed. Can I get a all in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion carried. Can I get a motion to move into executive session for stated items?
So move.
Second.
It has been moved by George Evans, seconded by Lucia Holmes to move